All right, we're live, guys.
We're live.
We are live. Rick, Adam, Chris, how you doing tonight?
Good,
All
good.
good.
Good, good. Okay, guys. Everybody in the chat. We got Jason from JJ Drones. We got Dave from God Love Thailand. We got David Williams in here. Of course, I'm here. Adam's here, and Rick is here, along with Chris. And what we're doing tonight, guys, this is I'm pretty excited about this. We got 4 pro staff members of Rubline Scents. If you haven't heard of Rubline Scents, it's a great company, deer scent. They have some really great products. And Rick is their national sales rep, and he runs a lot of the stuff over at Rubline Scents, and we are part of the pro staff, and we're helping out, getting Rubline's name out there, using the products and making videos and things like that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn this over to Rick real quick here, and he can explain a little bit what Rubline Scents is all about. And I am going to post the Rubline Scents website here so anybody can go check Rubline Scents out. So go ahead, Rick. Why don't you take it from here?
All right, Ted, thanks. And Outfish Ontario, welcome. To give you guys a rundown about Rubline Scents. Rubline Scents was originally a deer farm that decided there was better ways to making money and less competition if they went into the scent business. So they created this big, huge 3-story barn and all kinds of nice stuff that we can never show you, but we'd like to. But with the regulations on some of the deer protection program and the Responsible Hunters Scent Association and things, we cannot do that. But Doug and Andy, the co-owners, they got together and they in 2003 and were like, hey, we need to try to get this deer scent thing down and dirty. So they started out trying to make fresh grape, and they started trying to make triple esters in the right formulas and stuff. And in 2017, they come out with their fresh grape, which is a non-ester stow and a young buck urine that we actually use year-round, absolutely year-round, January to December. It can be used. It draws in deer. It's a curiosity and stuff. Scent. It's just like crazy when it comes to that. And then they also have triple esters, which there's a 21-day cycle. These guys go to the extreme that they go to the 3 peak days in that cycle, and they gather the urine and then produce the triple esters. Now in 2019, they wanted to step up their game, so they created buckrut juice, which is a combination actually of fresh grape, a little bit of triple esters, and then they put a dominant buck urine in there, and that turns around and brings the big boys out saying, what's this dominant buck doing in my neighborhood? So that is the buckrut juice.
Awesome.
And these guys, for real, it's the combination. There we go. Yep, there's one of our old little what do you call them, advertisements and stuff.
I'm going to be, Rick, excuse me for 1 second. I want to go grab some of the products so I can show them the bottles real quick.
Yep, that's cool. But, hey, Jamie Conway, who else popped in? Fishing with Bass Squatch, what's going on? Boring Fishermen, what's going on? I was just kind of giving a rundown of Rubline Scents and stuff, and how it was created and stuff. Down East Tackle, what's going on? You guys can always watch the reruns to catch up. But anyway, continuing on. these guys, when I got introduced to them, had 32 stores, and we're in Pennsylvania, basically one. I think one was in New York and stuff. We actually even had a store, or not a store, people up in Canada that we had sent to, and there's a big tariff thing that the Canadians like their money, so it was not very conducive with the stores making money for them, so it was kind of hard. But I have pictures of some nice bucks from Canada shot off of Rubline Scents.
Cool. Cool.
So,
all right, cool. Well, thank
anybody
you
has
for
any questions you can ask. We're going to try to keep going on.
Yeah, what we're gonna do, guys, is I got the bottles right here, Rubline Scents.
Fresh grape.
Fresh grape right there.
That's right, fresh grape.
And this stuff is going to be used. I'm actually, I don't know, you guys know, I do fishing and hunting videos. Well, my fishing season's over and it's hunting season. So I'm really excited about this podcast, this video podcast with Rubline Scents. It's what we're trying to do is just get like an evening where we're talking about hunting. You know, like just basically, you know, pull up a chair, grab your whiskey or your beverage of choice, and just hang out and talk hunting with everybody. And we're gonna have some special guests, you know, in the future coming up and talking. We have three. I'm the host, but we have three great people in here that hunt, and a lot of their lives consist of hunting in the outdoors. Freezer Bound Outdoors has a great channel. If you guys haven't checked them out, go over and check out Freezer Bound. I will be posting some links. If I do have any moderators in here, if you would be willing to share Chris's link, Big Tiny's link, and Adam's link, Freezer Bound Outdoors, that would be great. But what we're going to do now is we're going to go through each pro staffer up here, and we're just going to talk a little bit about the upcoming season, how they're preparing for it, and then we're just going to have a little, Adam, Chris, and Rick are going to talk about, you know, what they have upcoming on their channels, and then we're just going to start talking about like food plots or whatever you guys want to talk about in the chat. Please put it in the chat what you guys would like to talk about. But we're going to just kick it off by, you know, how we prep for the season, because, you know, season's right around the corner. For some people, I think they've already been hunting. I think, Rick, you've been out already doe hunting. I don't know, Adam, have you been out already?
No.
No? Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to start with Chris first, and we're going to ask him, I know he just got back from New York today, I believe, from doing some scouting. So, Chris, why don't you start it off for us and let the people know how you get ready for hunting season?
All right. This year I've got 2 out-of-state hunts planned. Like Ted said, I've got a New York tag purchased. Third week of September, I'll be headed up to New York to the Adirondack Mountains for a bear hunt. And Rick, you'll be going with me there. And we've got that. Yeah. Well, Rick's going.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So we're going to be doing that. Third week of October, I'm going to be in Maryland with my co-host there that we have the podcast together on my channel.
Mm-hmm.
We're headed down to the eastern shore of Maryland for the little Sitka deer, those miniature elk. We're going to try to kill a truckload of those things. So it's supposed to be the sweetest venison out there. So we've got that going on. I've been shooting the bow a little bit. Not a whole lot happening right now at this moment. You know, I got my food plots in, just waiting for that to take off. The weather's been horrible. Went from drought to monsoon. Weeds are going crazy everywhere. So I think everybody's going to have a little bit of an issue with some weeds this year in our state. But weeds aren't all a bad thing.
Gotcha.
Once the brassicas take off, we'll be good shape. It'll overshadow everything else, we're hoping.
Cool. So, Chris, what about this Rubline Scents? Have you put anything out yet?
Yeah, if anybody's been following the field staff page there, I post quite often. I do card pulls every 2 weeks, and I've been posting pictures of the critters that have been coming into the scrapes, and I've been having some pretty good luck that way already. They're interested. They're coming to the scrapes, and had a couple work the ground a little bit. Had a bunch work the licking branches already. So it is a year-round thing. People don't realize that licking branches are used year-round. Not necessarily working the dirt, but that fresh dirt smell. If you go work it a little bit, they're attracted to it. So
Yep.
it's great for inventory. Put down that fresh scrape in a freshly scraped up dirt, and I like to take a couple of the branches and snap them, not off, but just break them so that they're hanging down. And I even use a little bit of other scent for the licking branches, like forehead and preorbital and things like that. But yeah, it's taken off, man. If they're watching the page there, I post often.
Yep.
So
Yep. And Rick, that's a Facebook page that you have. You have the. Is that everybody can post in the field staff, or just the field staff for Rubline Scents? And can they follow Rubline Scents on Facebook?
Actually, they can follow Rubline Scents on Facebook, and thanks to everybody here and stuff, actually, and me using Facebook as well, we've actually started picking up more and more people on Rubline Scents and checking it out. My hobby store that I got in Titusville, Pennsylvania, hundreds of folks have went and posted that up and stuff, and now that has transferred over to Rubline Scents. Actually, they go to Rubline Scents' actual page and are giving it a thumbs up and everything else. So we had in just 7 days or 1 week, 1,900 plus go to the page. So it's building up and picking up momentum. And like Chris's videos and stuff are helping, and Adam freezer bound, and yours coming up, Ted, will be just like, I think truly a tornado of what's going to happen this season. So
Yep.
It's just crazy. I've actually picked up, or supposed to pick up a store in Florida. Just picked up one in Indiana. One in Minnesota's talking to me. I have outfitters out in Wisconsin, guys in Illinois, guys in Ohio, okay, and New York guys. So we are actually building momentum as far as Rubline Scents and having it in anybody's store that wants it. And anybody can get a hold of me, find me on Facebook or whatever. And if I can do it, I'll get the store there.
Yeah, if anybody's interested and knows anybody, if anybody has a friend that has an archery store or a hunting store, we'd really like to get the Rubline Scents spread out there as many states as we can. So definitely get a hold of Rick at his channel or any one of our channels. Send us a Facebook Messenger, an Instagram message, anything like that. You can email me. My email is always in my descriptions of the videos. And I'm sure everybody's email on here is in their descriptions of this video. There's my email right there, guys. If anybody's interested in getting Rubline Scents into a store, please email me, and I will definitely get a hold of Rick, because Rick is in charge of contacting everybody and getting that ball moving forward. But let me just ask Chris. Chris, do you want to add anything to what you just said there, bud?
I just, like you said, it's coming. I mean, our season in PA doesn't start till September 30th. So I've got to, right now, I'm more planning on these camping trips and stuff that I'm taking to the other states, try and prepare for that. And then, I'll do what I can in my home state here. I try to load the freezer up the first week if I can. And that'll free me up for other hunts. And like you said, I did just go to New York this morning. Pardon me? I didn't hear what he said.
I think he said tell him about your special guest.
Your mock scrape.
Oh, I have a very special guest at my mock scrape, and it's been posted on the site too. I've got a bear that's frequenting my mock scrape, and that's here in PA, and he's I'm not gonna say clockwork, but he's coming by pretty often.
Is it a
So
target? Is it a target bear for you, Chris?
it will be here.
Okay, cool.
It will be a good, it's a good representative of a PA bear.
Awesome.
I mean, he's over 200 pounds, I'm sure.
Cool.
So anytime you get over 200, that's a good thing.
Yeah, that's awesome.
But yeah, I went up, since I already got the New York tag bought for that bear hunt in September, I was able to find a place to hunt just over the PA line in Cattaraugus County, New York there, and it's just below Olean, and I was able to obtain a permit for 2,400 acres there.
That's awesome. Now, I used to have a place up in Chautauqua, real close to that.
Well, I'll tell you, it's not going to be easy. I mean, this place was timbered and it's all regeneration, and it is thick. It's like the jungle, man.
Cool.
I'm actually thinking of downgrading. No, I shouldn't say downgrade, but instead of like my usual rifle, I might like go to the 30-30 or even a slug gun.
Brush gun, huh?
Yeah, because it is thick.
Yeah.
It's going to be some short shooting.
That's cool.
I'm hoping when the cold weather hits, and I'll go back up and look around, that when everything starts to fall over and die, you know, I'm hoping it opens up for me a little bit, because man, this stuff was head high. I couldn't even get high enough to look around real well without walking through chest deep garbage, goldenrod and briars and all kind of weird stuff, honeysuckle and things. And I've got to. I think it'll be better once it defoliages, a little bit. So I'm looking forward to that, getting back up there and looking around then. Cool.
All right, buddy. Well, we're gonna get back to you in a little bit here, Adam.
Yeah, sure.
What are you doing up there, up north there, and prepping for the deer season coming up here? I know you got a bunch of kids you take out. I know Freezer Bound as a whole is a big group effort, and you guys do great and amazing things with the youth. And I know you guys put out some great content on your channel. So you want to explain a little bit how you do things?
Yeah, absolutely. We are actually just getting ready to kick off our PA team archery buck pull. We also, this year, thanks to Ted, he named it, we're having the button buck class, which is every kid can enter. It's only that kid. It's 15 and under. And we got prizes for the top 3 kids. We got prizes for the top adult archery team. And it's pretty simple. It's a free contest. You just got to follow our YouTube and Facebook to make sure you get all the details. We got, it's just points plus spread. And all we ask is that you guys take a little video walking up to the deer in the woods, scoring the deer on the tailgate or in the garage when you get home. And then you send us that video, whether it's on Facebook Messenger or via email, and we turn that into a YouTube video, and we do like weekly updates on the buck pull throughout the season every Sunday night.
Yeah, that's awesome. If you guys are interested in that and just seeing how it works, go on to his last videos from last year with the contest, and you'll see how everything works. You get a chance to see how they measure their deer and everything. But go into Adam's channel at Freezer Bound Outdoors and check out last year's contest. It's awesome.
Just a couple of the prizes that I want to show you guys real quick. We obviously have a package from Rubline Scents. We're gonna have everyone that wins will get a bottle of this, plus maybe a hat from Rick. I know Rick said you were gonna try to get some hats for us. We also have a Facebook page called Diener Designs. They've been doing all of our stuff lately. They do like the leather patchwork. They put the Facebook and YouTube symbol on the back. And I mean, it's really, they do all our decals and stuff like that now. So they're really good to work with. She's going to come up with some prizes for the kids. I said, just go wild with it. Do whatever you want. And I'll shout your name out as much as I can.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So we got Mill Creek Valley Game Calls, who we've been working with for a long time. They make great calls. They make archery calls. They make all kinds of calls as far as slate and pot. They make hoot owl calls, grunt bleat calls for archery. It's just millcreekvalleygamecalls.com. And then recently, I just went down to meet one of Tiny's friends, the Pennsyltucky boys. I went down and met Jason. They make American steel deer mounts. They have small ones that you put your European mount on like this. As you guys can see, all the metal there. And it's held on there good. And then you can actually set this on a coffee table, or you can mount this one on the wall. But they also have the full shoulder mount, which this goes on the wall, just like this.
That's awesome.
Your European mount goes right. This goes in the back of the skull. This goes up into the eye sockets. You can bend these pretty easy. And then your European mount sits on top of this. And it's pretty sweet. So they're on Facebook under the Pennsyltucky Boys, and you can go to the PennsyltuckyBoys.com and
I just shared Mill Creek with you, Adam, in the chat. Mill Creek Game Calls.
Yep.
Their link is right there. Mill Creek Valley Calls. I have a call that I actually won on your live last year or year before. It's a great sounding call. It's a mouth call. I like mouth calls, and I like slate calls, and I know they make both, but I have the mouth call, and it sounds really good. So if anybody's a turkey hunter out there, definitely check them out. They have some great calls. And like Adam said, they also have deer calls and things like that, predator calls, I'm sure. But check them out. The link's right here. Go over and check them out.
Well, yeah, so we'll be kicking off the archery contest this week. I'll post a video on YouTube and then share it on our Facebook page. All you have to do is have a partner. I just need a team name, both team member names, and what area of PA you mostly hunt. If you're hunting 2F or 2D, just so there's a idea of where the buck could have came from. Yep. And then that's the same thing with the kids. The kids don't need a partner. They just turn their name in, and I put them on a giant Excel program, and yes, Tiny, beautiful. But we'll get that kicked off. It'll be mostly YouTube videos just shared to Facebook, and we'll get things rolling. We're shooting for over 100 teams this year. So we had 72 last year with about 50 bucks harvested. So it was a pretty good turnout. Yeah,
it was awesome. And that is that archery only, Adam?
It's archery only, and this year we're going to lock it down to PA only because we had a couple, you go over in Ohio and hunt.
Yeah.
City Sticker, you probably go. Tiny goes up to New York.
So it's archery only and PA archery season only, correct?
Yes, correct.
Okay, all right, awesome.
There'll be more videos that we post on how to turn your entries in and everything like that here coming up after tomorrow.
Yeah, definitely, guys. If you haven't subscribed to Freezer Bound Outdoors, go over, subscribe, get all this information. Even if you don't hunt, it's always cool to just look at all the entries and the kids that are entered in it. We're all about, passing that's our sport on to the next generation and stuff like that. So definitely go over to Freezer Bound and keep an eye out on the archery contest, because I do plan on winning that this year. So you guys know that. Just so you know. But yeah, it's a great time. Adam's channel is awesome. So, and both, Chris's channel is awesome. And that brings me to one thing before I go to Rick here is, we're all pro staff members of Rubline Scents. We're all pushing for Rubline Scents this year. And so go over to Rubline Scents YouTube channel if you haven't already, and please pick them up, because we're all going to be posting videos, and Rick is running that channel right now along with his own channel, so he's putting a lot of hard work into everything. So please go over to Rubline Scents, pick them up, and then watch for the videos this year. It's sort of like, we all want you to come to our channels, but definitely go over to Rubline Scents also, and our channels will be over there shared out and things, and we're working on our videos to be on the channel, permanently, like it's our own channel. So we're all contributing to that. We're all working on projects for that. And I'll go to Rick on that note, and then I'll get back to me and let you guys know what I'm doing to prepare myself to win the Freezer Bound Outdoors archery contest.
I appreciate that, but if I can get to it, I want to show you that probably not a good likelihood. But I'm looking at here, Adam. is what we're talking about for the kids. A couple of those, and maybe a couple of these. We got alternate. We got orange. We got steel yellow. We got. I think Ted's got gray.
I got a gray one and I got a white one, like a back.
And
The back of
white.
it's gray, blue with the white logo and the gray back, and then I got a blue with the white logo with a white back, and I got the Rubline Scents shirt on too. And I'm using my off the hook blue color.
Right. Actually, I am crazy busy with trying to get us out to different states. I've been messaging back and forth, texting back and forth, emailing back and forth, all kinds of stuff. And I got Big Tiny's Outdoors. I got Rubline Scents. And I don't want anybody to cry, but that's on the lease. I don't know if you can see it or not.
I can see it. Yep.
But it's in the mid 20s probably spread wise. Not very high, but big huge rack over on our lease. Yeah, I've been out with my crossbow practicing. I've been out with my compound practicing, bouncing back and forth. Went out with my one of my rifles and got that sighted in. I was actually out last night, and I don't know if many of you guys know, but in Pennsylvania, they used to be called red tags. Now they're called agricultural tags. And I've been blessed to have a son-in-law that is Bendel's Berry Patch, and they have 7 different properties in about 1,500 acres that I can hunt. And Pennsylvania has so many deer this year and over the last year that they went from getting 3 doe tags to 6 that you can now have. So every one of these properties I can actually get 6 doe tags for to help reduce the herd and the crop damage. And I will tell you from talking to them, it used to be, now I'm sure with all the amount of deer and bear that are starting to come up around here, it used to be that they would lose 12 rows of corn around the entire field every year to deer and bear. And I know some people see crazy pictures where a bear will actually go in the middle of a cornfield and sit down, start pulling in basically a circle, pulling the corn down and eating it. So they do a lot of damage and stuff. So that's why they have so many tags out and stuff. But yeah, we're trying to expand. We're trying to get out to other states, and we have proof. Adam has numerous proof on his channel, Freezer Bound Outdoors, where we got bucks fighting over. Is it a hemp rope that you used? Adam, was it a hemp rope? But he's kind of froze up. But he had 2 bucks fighting over a scrape and a rope that he had put up. He actually did a late season deer hunt and put fresh scrape on the bottom of his boots, and it went. This doe came in before daylight, and followed every one of his boot prints and went right to the bottom of his tree. And if I recall correctly, he was licking the rails of the tree stand. And then another one came in a little bit later after he chased that one off, and he was able to put one down. Like Chris had on his channel, there were several. He had some really nice bucks coming in last year when he was first using it and stuff, and he has some pretty good clips and stuff on his channel. Ted's gonna be the man this year with his different hunting and stuff. But yeah, it's crazy busy for me right now. This is our time of the year. I will tell you, we also hooked up with, and I hope you guys look into it and get involved, is the Bow Hunting League. The bow, and I have a banner here someplace, but I put it off to the side because Rubline Scents is it. But the Bow Hunting League is an absolutely free league that you can enter, and you have 3 team members, and you go in and I think you got 5 more days. I think August 31st is the last day that you can enter. But they went from 10 prizes to 100 prizes for the top 10 teams to the top 100 teams are winning stuff. It's grown and continues to grow. And they just, I mean, it's crazy. They actually have a doe competition. They have a biggest buck. They have other competitions. They have giveaways and stuff throughout the year. And they also do turkey in the spring. So it's all about the bow, and about archery. So you guys can get out and maybe look into that, check it out and see. Pretty good time. I think last year PSE, we just lost.
We lost Adam. Yeah, we lost Adam.
PSE gave away 3 of their newest bows to the top team last year. So I mean, there's some pretty decent prizes and stuff. So and Rubline Scents went from just a sponsor to a title sponsor, and we are now the only scent company in the Bow Hunting League. Welcome back.
Yep. All right, cool. So I guess give you a little description of myself here. I do, my fishing season just ended here in August. I have a place up at Edinburgh where I fish a lot. But that's over and done with, and this is my favorite time of the year. Is hunting. It's my passion, and I'm a stick and bow guy. I love archery season. I use a crossbow and a regular bow. I don't use a recurve, but I was thinking about starting to get into the recurve. I have one, but I don't use it for hunting. But I want to start using the recurve. But this year, I will be doing, and possibly tomorrow, I'll be cutting a couple videos, making some mock scrapes with this stuff. If you go into any of my channel last year, I did some mock scrapes with the Rubline Scents, the fresh scrape. So I'll be doing that coming up here real soon. I just got done, we just finished up the food plots down at my camp in Uniontown here in PA. We just finished it this week, Sunday, and it rained really good this week. My buddy was actually down there today, and he sent me some pictures, and we're already starting to get some growth, but this rain will really jumpstart it. Chris knew about that. I called him when I wanted to get some advice with some stuff last week, and he helped me out a little bit with that. So if anybody's interested and anybody has any questions in the chat or anything about food plots and everything, Chris is really knowledgeable about the food plots and how to plant and what you should do, what you shouldn't do. So definitely get with him. Go over to his channel, check him out. He's planting and going crazy up there where he is with the food plots and everything. So you want to check City Sticker Chris's channel out for that if you guys are curious on how he does things. And yeah, I'm getting ready. I have a lease in Ohio, and it is, like Chris said earlier, it is thick in the areas that I hunt down Ohio, because I like to hunt the thick areas, and it's thick in the winter. You could only imagine how thick it is now, and I don't even like going up to my stand and doing that. But this past weekend, when I was planting food plots down at my place, I went over the hill down to my spot, and there was a big tree that come over the path that had to get to my stand, so I got to get down there to cut it out. But I did climb over the tree, and I put my camera up down in that area. So I'll be pulling some pictures, from there, and I will post them on the Rubline Scents page. And like I said, guys, just go check out Rubline Scents. Rubline Scents we're pushing it. It's a big boom this year. We got a bunch of good staff members on, and we're ready to get some good footage, put some good videos out for Rubline Scents and ourselves in our channel. But it's all based on this Rubline Scents that we're going to be using this year, guys. So we're really going to put this to the test. And we do good, honest, good, honest reviews with this stuff. I know Adam, he's a believer in it. I used it last year. I had some success with it. Chris has used it in the past. So we've had some experience with the scent, but this year we're all geared up. Rick mailed us out the scent, and we're ready to go. If you guys want to buy any of this stuff, I've seen it work. We have pictures, like I said, to prove it, and some videos. So go over to Rubline Scents right there, www.rublinescents.com, and check out all their products that they have. Now they also have, we're teaming up with a couple other companies, and we're putting it on the website. We're selling products on the Rubline Scents website, like the scent blender we have. And also what I want to do is I really want to mention this because a lot of you guys have started this, and I just received my package today from Rick from High Point Products. They are a great company. They're a PA-based company. And I got a package today, so I'm really excited to start doing this. And this is the Black Max Universal Bow Holder that he sent me out that I'm going to use this year when I use my bow. He gave me this retrieval device. It goes on your stand, and you can wind up anything you want to pull up to your stand there, which is really neat. And he gave me, this is probably going to be one of my favorites. It'll hold my spitter and my drinks. Yes, it's the cup holder. It's the cup holder. It'll hold a thermos. So that's an important product to have in a tree stand with you, so you're not spitting all over the ground. You can have a spitter right up in a tree with you. Keep your scent to a minimum. And then this is something really exciting that I'm really excited about, guys. Rick sent me this. This is all camo. And what that does is it goes onto your tree stand. And you guys all know when you're setting up your tree stands and there's leaves and branches on the trees early in the archery season, and you're sitting in there and you're really nice and camoed in. And then, November, the middle of November rolls around, and you look like Horton the Elephant sitting up in a tree with nothing around you. Well, this stuff right here will conceal you like you need to. And you can bend it and move it around and place it where you want it. And this is the Tree Stand 3D Camouflage. And I know they're doing real well, but that's all on Rick's website. And they're, like I said, they're based out of PA. I'm going up there to shoot a video of his facility here real soon. He's away right now. Unfortunately, he was going to come up here with us tonight, but he's away with on vacation. So I am going to share High Point Products link also in the chat here. So please go over to High Point or go over to the Rubline Scents and go through Rubline Scents website to get the High Point products, and go check out Rick's stuff like that. They work hard up there. They have some great products. He actually came up to Adam's rendezvous this year, Freezer Bond's rendezvous, that he does every year, and he did a demonstration, and it was a great demonstration. He had a bunch of his products up there, so definitely go over there, check out High Point Products, and I will share the link here real quick. It's going to take me a second. So yeah, and that's what I'm going to be doing this year. I haven't got down to Ohio to put out cameras or anything, but that's usually August, usually September. I go on vacation next week, and then I start my hunting content usually right at the beginning of September. So look out for that on my channel and Rubline Scents channel for all the Rubline Scent stuff that we use, the fresh grape. Right now, that's all I'm going to use right now is the fresh grape. And then as the season moves on, I'll start mixing and matching with some fresh grape, and then I'll throw in some triple estrus. And but I'll probably use the buck juice first. It'll probably be triple estrus will be in November. So that's what I'm looking forward to get this Rubline Scents out there. And like I said, go over, check out Rubline Scents, www.rublinescents.com. And Adam has something to say. Go ahead, buddy.
All right, guys. So he makes this pole from High Point, and you got the bow holder here. Right now, I have the stake on the ground because I was actually using this to fish with. Stick it in the ground. They also have a camera holder, so I could be on my phone live streaming both ways and fish all at the same time. But this little bottom piece, if you can see right here, this piece pops off, and then he has a platform that'll go on to, like, I hunt with a bunch of kids, so we hunt out of a bunch of two-man tree stands. it's a platform that attaches to where your feet go, so it'll go in between, and then up top you can put the gun mount on and swivel the gun mount, and it'll hold the crossbow for the kids. So I mean,
that's awesome.
It's a pretty cool product. Super nice guy, local here in PA.
Mm-hmm.
I
just shared the link too in the chat so people can go to it.
That's a great product for ground blind hunting.
Yeah,
ground blind. Boom, stick that right in the ground for turkey hunting, especially with the kids. I mean,
do you have the cup holder on there too, Adam, for my spitter up there?
You got a spitter?
You got a spitter holder? All right. Awesome.
And
That's
this
awesome.
is actually the shotgun, rifle,
yes,
crossbow holder. Now, I will also show you guys that there's a little, it's hard to see what you guys can see, but there's a wing nut here. And these, inside of this is serrated edges. So you can actually tilt this into any position pretty much you want.
5-degree increments.
5 degree. And then you lock it in. But now when you do that, you got to make sure it's locked into one of the serrated edges and knots in there. But like Adam was saying and stuff, you can actually put your fishing pole in here and you can hook the handle underneath and it will lock in so that it can't be pulled off.
Yeah, and that mounts onto the post that Adam has also, correct?
Yes.
Correct. Yeah, that also mounts on there.
And there is a sandwich holder. It goes right on Adam's drink cup, so you can actually put this sandwich holder there, or it can be used as to hold your camera if you use a handheld video camera to make your stuff. And what Adam was talking about over here is the co-owner of Rubline Scents was at the Chico Outdoors and was talking to Rick, and he said, you know what, if you can create a thing where I can mount that up on my tree stand, then you got me sold. And so, and I can't find, for some reason I can't find it, must have dropped out of my bag, but he created the base, and here's the base plate. Now there's a rounded, which it dropped out of my bag, so I'm gonna have to look for it. But you actually take these, I don't know if you guys can see it, screw it out, you put the plate down in your
expanded
area of your tree stand, and then you mount that in, and then that the post has a circular thing which adjustments inside, so you can turn it and move it whatever way you need. And I apologize for not having it right here. It must have fell out.
But where's your tree stand at, Rick? Because I'm sure it's there. I'll go follow your path at the tree stand and find all of the High Point products laying on the ground.
Right.
I'll get me some free products.
Which one? I got about a half a dozen tree stands. So
there you go.
Yeah,
I also wanted to mention, while you're looking for that product, there is if you guys go over to Rubline Scents, we were at Freezer Bound Outdoors Rendezvous this year, and Andy did a great segment on a mock scrape and how to set up a mock scrape using the fresh scrape. So go over there, check that out. He's real detailed in what he's talking about, and we were all involved with that video also. So there was a lot of people there watching that had some questions and things like that. So if you're interested on how to set up a mock scrape, go over to Andy's or Rubline Scents and watch Andy tell you all about it. And then I'm sure each one of us have a video, or I'm going to have a mock scrape video coming up. I know Chris's is out there. Adam, did I watch your mock scrape video this year yet, or no?
I haven't made a video yet.
Okay.
I have 2 out right now that I just put out like 3 days ago.
Okay.
So they're not on my cell cameras. Yeah, they're in the process.
They're in the process. Okay, so yeah, keep an eye out on our channels for the upcoming scrapes and things like that. And you know as well as I do, guys, anybody that knows anything about hunting, or you may not, but the fresh scrape and early season scrapes are like a community scrape is what we're creating. And we're just trying to get an inventory of what deer are in the area. And we're going to talk about that here as soon as Rick finds his all his products that dropped out of his bag. We're going to, he's probably out in the yard looking for them now. But we're going to get back to that, and we're going to talk about we're going to talk about early season scrapes that we make and what they do and how they, how deer use those to communicate. We're going to talk about that in a little bit here as soon as Rick is done showing the High Point products.
Actually, guys, it was attached to mine. I already had it sitting in the back. I just grabbed my bag and I thought it was still in here, but it wasn't. But I'll try to get it close enough so you can see. It's oval, and there's, oops, I'm sorry. There's a little arrow right here, and there's grooves inside. I don't know if you guys can see with this, but there's different grooves that you can actually put in, and then you just slide this down in. Whoops, I'm sorry. Slide it down in just like that, and then it clicks in. Now you have to pick it up, and it's fairly silent, but then it has different. Let's see, it's got.
And that's for different shot placements. If a deer's moving in front of you, you can take that and move that so you can swing on the deer or whatever you're shooting at.
Yeah, there's actually 5.
Okay.
5 different positions you can do that. There's also, if you're a camera enthusiast, for your cell phone camera, it's got the 3/4 inch for your tree stand, or the 1 inch. Now he also, with the new muddy and different circular what do you want to call it? Circular tubing for the tree stands. Now he's got adapters for that you can purchase or buy that kind with that adapter on it. So this man's pretty amazing when it comes to ingenuity and stuff. And actually, the YouTubers who gave these guys, or gave him an idea, and he's going to figure out how to adapt this so that you can actually put another pole or 2 on this so that you can actually bank fish, or your kids can bank fish and have 2 to 3 poles, depending on how he has it set up. So it'll be interesting to see what he comes up with.
Cool.
Yeah, what?
I got another product that I want to show, but I wanted to get this and let Chris start this off with the early season mock scrapes and stuff like that, and just give everybody in the chat, Chris, just the reasoning why we as hunters are putting out mock scrapes early and what we're trying to get out of it. And it's not a hunting scrape right now because it's not hunting season, obviously, but just let the people know what we're doing with the Rubline Scents fresh scrape early season like this, and then I'll be right back. I'm going to go grab that other product.
Yeah, I put them out now. I've actually had them out since the end of June, and it's a good inventory taking thing. See what's in your area. I like to find well-traveled areas, paths, trails, overhanging branches and things. I like to go in, and in my area predominantly they like to rub on the pines a lot. So they make their scrapes under a pine, and they like to put their face up in the branches of the pine and rub around, and it's a communication thing for the deer is what it is. They're leaving. It's like, hey, you got an email, you got mail. They leave it for each other to be able to communicate. And right now, like we said earlier, they're not necessarily working the dirt or urinating in scrapes or things. That's sort of a pre-rut type thing, and that'll be up and coming into October here in our state. But yeah, I like to find well-traveled routes, and I set up a camera, and I use a mounting system that goes up in a tree, and I like to get shots, camera views down on top of the animals. That way you can count points, you can see width, you can see tine length and all that. So I like to, not only for security reasons, but I like to put them up high and get those pictures down. Um, so that is mainly why I stick them out there, is because I hunt a huge tract of public land, and if I just blindly go out and hunt, obviously I want to tilt the table in my favor. So I start putting those mock scrapes out, and they start hitting them as early as June into early July, and they start coming around and checking those. Maybe not every day, but they're hitting them, and it's a big communication thing. And that just gets them used to coming by there a lot. And if I have a camera that's hot and I see some good mature animals on it, or bears in my instance, I've been getting bears coming through, I'm going to set up and possibly hunt that scrape. Last year I shot my 10-point coming to a scrape. He two things in my favor last year. Last year the deer were coming through my domain food plot, and I had got off work early and freshened up a scrape right in front of my stand. So the deer came out, nibbled in my plot, and then was headed straight for the scrape. So 2 things there. So it works great, especially third week of October, when things are really starting to heat up. I put a scrape tree out in front of my plot last year, destination plot across the road, and I was kind of disappointed at first, but man, I went back over there around Halloween time, and it just got tore up. And they had the tree destroyed. I had to scrape. I only made it like maybe 2 foot in diameter. They had that sucker out like 4 foot in diameter. They just had this thing destroyed. So that's why I like to put them out.
I just shared the link with Domain Seed also,
Okay,
because
cool.
that's a preferred product of myself, and I know Chris uses that.
Yeah,
With the Domain Seed. I don't know if Adam's using that, or if Adam put anything out with Domain this year or not.
I don't know, but it's a good seed company to be hooked up with. They supply the seed for me. I would like this opportunity, Ted, if you don't mind. I'd like to go into my channel a little bit and just explain.
You are most definitely welcome to do so, buddy.
Well, first of all, people see the name City sticker and they're like, what in the heck is that all about? Well, what folks don't know, if they've never met me before, is I grew up in the city of Pittsburgh, and I moved up 21 years ago, and I now live out in the country and enjoy the outdoor life. But it's a play on words for city slicker. So I am a bow enthusiast, archery. I just love to shoot animals with my bow. So that play on words, the sticker part obviously is my bow and arrow. Okay, and coming from the background of the city, so I just made City Sticker is my call name on YouTube there. But what I mainly do is obviously is the food plotting end of it. I'm a big, like I said, we've got Domain. I'm on board with them, and they supply the seed for me, and I make videos for them. And I also like to self-film. I'm hooked in with Tacticam cameras. I use GoPros. I have handy cams that I use. I have multiple mounting systems, and Rick supplied me with another mounting system that he has over at High Point. So that's going to come in handy this year too. So that's mainly what I like to do on my channel. I don't get off and on too many tangents a lot. I just try to keep it simple over there on that. So,
you have a great series of videos with the Domain, and we're going to go into the food plots after this too, Chris. So
yeah,
make sure you stick around. I know it's Saturday night and everybody wants to be out partying, but I'm sitting here talking about hunting.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
but yeah,
That's
we're gonna
just
talk
a
about
little.
that too.
That's just a little look into my channel. I'm nearing the 1,000 subscriber mark.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I'm gonna have a giveaway for that. I'm gonna be giving away what I think I'm gonna be giving away because I haven't purchased it yet. But I'm trying to get a local guy that does laser etching. I'm gonna try to get a Kershaw knife and have it etched with city sticker with the U2 emblem on one side, and on the opposite side have like a deer and a bear and maybe a turkey all etched on the other side of the blade. So that would be really cool.
I thought you were giving away. I thought you're going to tell the company you're going to give away a nice brand new 2023 plot maker too, like one of those trail behind plot.
Oh boy, yeah, that'd be nice. But
Yeah,
I
that ain't happening this
I
year.
gotta
Maybe
get them on board just yet.
maybe 2,000, maybe 2,000 subscribers. You'll give something like that away.
Maybe
Okay.
if I get big
All right.
enough.
All
I'm gonna
right.
try to hit up Rubline Scents. Maybe they
Yeah.
can give maybe they can give me a bottle or two to give away.
Maybe they'll give out a wrapped
people.
truck, Rubline Scents wrapped, and all the
that would be
Rubline
nice.
stuff.
I'll take
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, me too.
I'm gonna give Teddy. I'm gonna throw some money I'm gonna throw some bills at Teddy. And
Make it rain, buddy. Make it rain.
Make it rain on Teddy. Maybe he's gonna give me a small tackle of baits that he makes. Teddy.
I'll
makes
get you
nice
whatever you
baits.
want, buddy. Whatever you want, I'll donate to you. Whatever
I'm
you
gonna,
need.
I'm
You
gonna
just
try
hit
to
me up.
make. I'm gonna try to make it worth people's while to come watch.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not trying to buy their vote, but if they get in on the, on the subscription, they might as well get in on the giveaway.
Well, they're going to pick up something just if they subscribe to your channel, Chris. You have a lot of great information hunting. You have a lot of great videos of you actually hunting, and then you have a lot of know-how on how to plant food plots and things like that. I believe it's one of your specialties. I mean, I love your hunting videos, and your specialty, I think, is that food plots and how much work and hard effort you put into, making these food plots right for the deer to have success every year. I think that's a real calling point of your channel is that food plots and stuff.
I really enjoy helping people. I mean, I've got people calling me and texting me from all over the United States now, and it's pretty cool. I mean, I don't have that many subscribers because, quite frankly, I don't think I'm that interesting to talk to. I'm better to talk to in person or in this live type setting. When I get in front of the camera, I kind of freeze up a little bit, and it's a little slow talking. I got to think everything out because I forget.
You don't want to mess
memory's
nothing
horrible.
up. Yeah,
My memory's horrible. I forget everything, so I try to go through everything real meticulously, and I try not to let anything out because, there's people out there trying to mimic what I do or tell them, and if I forget a step, and they skip it, they're gonna be mad at me.
Yeah. Well, you had a call. You had a call from Fayette County last week, so.
Yes, I did. But I was happy to help. I mean.
Yeah, I know you did.
And I'm just a text away or something,
Yep.
And
I appreciate you. I appreciate all the
I get
help.
back to people within a half hour, normally, unless it's during work hours. I can't carry a phone during work, but.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I enjoy to do that, and I think Rick wants to have me come out. He said, and we'll look at his land
and find all his products he lost in the woods. Help him find
I'll
them.
find that. All the wounded deer laying around that he's been shooting and not getting.
No.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I'm just messing.
Well, hey, we're not letting Rick talk yet. We're gonna have Adam talk next. We're gonna let Rick stew on that.
Yet,
Yeah,
Rick.
Not yet. We're gonna let
Wait
Rick
your
stew
turn.
on that one. And we're gonna have Adam. Adam, how do you do your scrapes, and what do you do early season with scrapes?
So right now, currently, I have two of the Rubline Scents scrapes out. I usually use a rope, and I soak the rope so that I'm good for 3 or 4 days. I usually have one out back, and I have one about 5 miles away with a cell phone camera. So I know when the deer start slowing down, going to it to go over. All I do is I just take the bottle, I take off the lid, I go up the rope, down the rope, and then I'm out. I try to I had all the kids down there with me today, so they're scent all over of us. But we had fun doing it, so it's not a big deal. But
Just teaching.
Yeah, you're teaching.
I feel like each time we go out, like I had an extra kid tonight, and we tried to teach all three of them exactly why we're doing this and stuff,
Mm-hmm.
because a lot of people don't realize, like, to not just to inventory your deer, but to get a deer consistent with the area and try to lock them in just a little bit more. Like that helps a lot,
Mm-hmm.
And I've had a ton of success with this rubline stuff, guys. I mean, you can go and look at my channel. I had a hunt. I had one doe tag left last year, and it was December 28th or something like that. And I put a little bit on my boots and walked into my tree stand, and a deer came out and hit my tracks and walked right to my tree stand and stood right underneath me. And I had to scare that one away because it was still dark.
Yeah.
And I'm a very firm believer in that. I'm still in the process. The kids are shooting a crossbow a little bit. I have not even touched the recurve hardly at all, so I'm a little embarrassed about that. But the first couple of weeks are about the kids going out, sitting in the blind with me, and you know.
And that's what's great about your channel. You always have the kids involved with everything you guys do. It isn't like you're just going out there and doing it for yourself. You involve all the kids, and that's that's special about your channel when you have all the kids involved. So it's a great channel, man. I enjoy watching it.
Thank you.
Yep. All right, Rick. Go ahead, buddy.
I said I enjoy Theo. Well, let me tell you guys. I want to help Chris out actually, and I learned this through talking with a bunch of people. And the deer use the licking branch, but they also have scent glands along towards their nose and eye area that Adam kind of pointed out.
Preorbital.
They actually rub up into the trees. Not only do they urinate on the ground and scrape up, but they have. And then there's actually a scent gland in their hooves, down behind the back of their hooves.
Interdigital.
Thank you. That they scrape, and that's how these new dogs that they have out and stuff actually got taught how to track down deer. And I actually have a video on my Big Tiny's channel. It shows a little bit of it. And this dog, I had shot a deer. Not a good placement because I actually, when I was swinging inside of my wife's ground stand, I hit the side of the ground stand and the trigger, and I pulled the trigger, and it wasn't a good shot. And I went out and I thought it went right down. And as soon as I was like, oh, it's over. I thought I had a good shot, and ended up not being, because I got back up, got out of the tree stand, and it was like jumped up and took off across the creek. And I was like, well, and I walked circles and circles trying to find the blood. There was a little blood, but not much. And I was like, well, maybe I didn't get it. I'm just going to leave it go. And I was like, man, if I don't find that, I'm going to feel bad. So I started calling friends and got hooked up with one of our field staff who joined us, Miss Trout, and stuff. And she has dogs. Well, they were busy already tracking some other deer, so she sent me to this other lady, and I contacted her, and within a half hour we found the deer. And it actually went only about 50 yards more and laid down behind a house, which is now my camp. It's a house trailer and stuff, but it was 25 yards out of the yard of the house camp.
Cool.
So it was a success story all around as far as that goes. Cool. But yeah, last night I actually went out and did an agricultural hunt and took down a doe.
Nice.
And then I turned around and gave it away to the person renting the house there on the property. And then I reported it to the got on. And I don't know if you guys know about these agriculture tags. Once you purchase them, they actually go on your huntfishpa.com thing, and then you just go in and you report the kill right there, right online. But yeah, guys, there's another thing. We got all kinds of things going on. We have Deception Scents, which I don't have any of that product because I actually sold out of all of it, and the Buck Cage, which is Deception. Sorry, let me get back. Deception Scents is actually a
Cover scent?
No, it's a scent eliminator. It eliminates everything. And I made, and Adam probably remembers this, so I'll start laughing, but I made proof that this stuff actually works because I was nice enough to let my wife use my truck, and I decided I wanted to go fishing, so I went in her car. And after a week in the 80-degree weather, she found a couple of trout, and one was underneath. So it stunk really bad and stuff. And she was like, "You're getting this out, or you're buying me a new vehicle." And I said, "Well, I'm down here. I just heard about this stuff. We're joining up with these guys." I said, give me a day or two. When I come back up, I'll see if it works, and it's all out." And I actually, they have a canister that you can buy, and you add a little mini cup into this canister, and you take of course, you take the lid off. The canister's inside. You add water, a little mini cup, and you pour it in there, and then you take and put it on your floorboards or someplace that it's not going to get bumped. Then you shut your vehicle up, and I swear that in 24 hours, actually no, it was less than 24 hours. I did it in the evening, and when she went out the next morning, she picked it up out and put it in. The smell was gone, completely gone.
Cool.
So I went a week later to the rendezvous, and one of the guys was up there talking to me and stuff, and I said, "Hey, I want you to do something. I know it sounds weird, but I want you to do something." He said, "What?" He said, "Come smell my car and tell me if you smell anything." And he started laughing at me, but he did it because I asked him. Opened it up, and he's like, "Normal car smell." I said, "Yeah." I said, 2 days ago, it stunk so bad from trout that you couldn't even stand it." And he's like, "Serious?" I said, "Yep." And I said, "Here it is." And it's just crazy. And it's been gone ever since.
Cool.
But
So is that on your Rubline? Is that on the Rubline Scents website right now?
Yes,
The deception
sir.
where
Yes,
they can
sir.
get it. Okay.
Yep.
Just want to
Now,
make
the
sure.
pages, some of the guys know about these, some of these guys don't. Again, I sold out. We're in the process of trying to get them, but pretty much it helps you save on your amount of scent that you use. It looks like a child's Skittle bottle, and it's got a pop top cap. And inside this is a rubberized hanging basket with little Orbeez inside. You take a half an ounce of the deer scent and you pour it in this cup. And then you stick these little Orbeez, and they're about this big. You stick them in there, and they have a rubberized arc on there, so you can hang them on a tree branch. But you do that the day before you stick it in. Now these Orbeez you barely see them in there, but they swell up to the size of this little and fill this little butt cage up, and then you just go out and you pop the top and you slide it right on your branch, and you just bring it down. You're not getting scent all over your hands, Adam, or the kids' hands and stuff. And it'll last 2 to 3 days depending on the weather and stuff, and then you just go back and, like, I buy a 3-pack. So what I do is the night before I'm going out to switch mine up, I'll do another one of those, take it out, and then take the original, slide it off, put it back in, and then put the new one out there, and then turn around and refreshen it and go back. We've got let's see, Rick from Chris, tell me. High Point. I got my problem is, guys, is we're talking to Spy High camera mounts. We're gonna try to get them, and Chris uses them and is fully aware of them. We're talking to Zeus, the broadheads. We're talking to a bunch of different companies trying to get stuff in for us. I actually am testing out, and I don't know if you guys have ever heard of these guys, but it is. Oops, sorry. Let me get back here. Hawk footwear. I don't know. Yeah, you guys ever heard of Nighthawk footwear? There you go. Let me slide over here to get one. I don't know if I have the. No. Okay. And I can show you guys this. It's leggings. But now, and you can see. Whoops. Can you guys see that? Okay. That's their symbol and stuff. But it's leggings, and you can take these.
There's the buck cage right. Can you guys see that?
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
They also have the rubberized camera ones. But these are actually leggings, and I've taken them out and I've tested them. But the problem with testing them at night and trying to show you the true thing is your camera light is so bright that it doesn't show the actual brightness of the light. But it's leggings, and you put it on your legs, around your boots, and around your calf and stuff. And then it's an adjustment up here. There is this little light is inserted, and there you go. So what's happening, and there's 3 different phases, that one, and that one. But now you can get red or you can get white. And inside of this, there's a little thing that I'll show you about. But if you think about it, you no longer have to carry a flashlight. You no longer have to have a headlamp on top of your head, and you actually have it down at the ground where you're walking so you can see better stuff in front of you, directly in front of you. And it's pretty cool, and I'm trying to get a video up of it. But the neat thing is there's a pocket in here, and it's rubberized, and I don't know if you guys know it, but it pops out, and there's a rubberized thing that it inserts and sets. Now, if you look at this, I go like this, and there you go, a USB. So you charge them through your USB, and then you just slide that back on once you're done charging it, and then you just come over, open the Velcro back up, slide it into the window, and pop it in. And there you go. And the white lights are really bright. I don't want to mess up, but they also they have a. I can reach it. I can't. They have a tan and brown one as well. I don't remember. I'm not up on that, but I'm working on it. And they just come out this year with a new one for rattlesnakes. So they actually have a video right now that you put these leggings on, and you actually can get hit by a rattlesnake and not be harmed. It won't penetrate this new they call them gators.
Okay.
So that's something neat. And if you think about it, you got your boot, you got this little strap here that hooks around your boot. So it goes over top your boot, keeps your laces less than snow covered, when you know how that sometimes happens when you get into deep snow. And also all the way up to your knee, so you don't have to worry about snow or anything going down into your knees. I mean, into your boots. So it helps, when you do that. And like you said, it's hands-free. So kind of like the headlamps, but just a little bit better, and does a little bit better, more stuff.
Cool. All right. Well, you didn't mention the scent. I'm not gonna go too long with this, but it's the scent blender.
Yep.
We also sell this on the Rubline Scents website. But this is an awesome product, guys. You can it's actually what it says. It's a blender. It's almost like a smoothie maker for deer hunting, and you can put in acorns, you can put in pine needles, and it blends it and it comes with a spray bottle. I guess I'll show you real quick here what it looks like, and then we'll move on to the scrapes.
Yeah, when Ted says pine needles, he means pine needles. Don't put pine pitch in it. It'll be just like everything else.
And it comes with a bottle, and the bottle has a filter in it. It has a little filter right there to keep everything going, so it doesn't clog up. And acorns, oak leaves, whatever you want to put in there for a cover scent, which is really cool. Corn, yeah, all kinds of apples, whatever you want to put in there, and you can use it as a attractant scent or a cover scent, and that's really cool. So I'm gonna try that out this year. I have a couple ideas. I also want to incorporate that into my fishing for like scent, taking some worms or some critters and blending them in here, which is kind of, I probably won't show that on video, but we'll get some minnows or something in there.
And chum. He's making chum.
We're making chum, basically. And we're going to dip our lures and stuff in there, and we're going to throw it out there and see what happens with the fishing.
Yeah,
so, but that's the scent blender. Yeah, the scent blender is good for stuff like that if you're interested in that. But go to the Rubline website. It's right here, linked up, and check out all the products. I showed you a couple products right there. But and like I said, getting back to the scrapes is what I do is I get an inventory early with all my scrapes. I get into it a little bit deeper. I wear rubber boots, I wear gloves and things like that, and I make my mock scrapes early, like now, and it's basically to get an inventory of things and see what's in the area. And getting them out early, it doesn't hurt, Like I said, you'll get a lot of dough early in there, and other critters coming in, because when you're making a scrape, you're putting a scent in the woods. It's their home, so they come over just on curiosity. And then later in the season, you start doctoring it up more and more, and you get the bucks interested. And then there's a bunch of scenarios that I do, mixing some of the scent up and trying to get different scenarios where there's an inferior buck in the area, intruding. At certain times, that stuff works better than others. Like, you wouldn't want to have a dominant buck urine in there at the beginning of the season, because it's just something irregular. It doesn't really jive with what's going on in the woods at that time. So timing's everything. Also with scent displacement is you want to put the right scent out at the right time of the year. I'm not saying that it won't work, because deer are naturally curious, so they'll come in. I'm not saying you put out triple estrus in September, you may get some deer coming into that, but there is a time and place for everything with the scent. So just, no problem. So just be aware of that. Look it up. If you have any questions, you can always email one of us. We could always steer you in the right direction on what we do and what works for us. And all the stuff that we're telling you is experience, what we've done in the past and what works for us. What works for me might not work for you. I'm not saying that's the only way to do it. Stuff that Adam does might not work for me. Stuff that I do might not work for Adam. So it's just a matter of you getting out there and trying it yourself and see what works and experimenting on different things. And Rubline Scents is definitely a great place to start with your scent, because it is a pure and natural scent. It's great. The color is good out of the bottle. You get that golden color of urine. You start getting the brown colors and things like that, and the ammonia build up in it and things like that. There's a lot of scientific stuff that we can talk for hours about scent and what goes on with the chemical balance of scent and everything like that. But it's definitely one of the freshest scents out there. So give it a try if you haven't, and go over to Rubline Scents and check it out for yourself and try it this year for sure. He said, "I know WD is legal."
We are actually bottling as soon as we get the new stickers with all the programs that we have to do to stay CWD certified. That ours is, and with all the deer protection program and the QR quick test that they use to test the urines, and the Responsible Hunters Scent Association. We have to follow certain rules throughout all of this, and everything has to be labeled as such, so that it shows all of our customers that we're following everything that we need to follow.
Cool. Does anybody have any questions about the Rubline Scents or anything like that, or anybody have any questions for us that they want to know what we do or how we do things, or Do you have any suggestions on what you're doing with your scent right now? If you do, feel free to put them in the chat. And then when Chris gets back, we are going to start on. We're going to talk a little bit about, and I don't know how long you guys can stick around, but we're going to talk a little bit about the food plots with Chris.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that works too. Why? Believe me, I've tried that before also, and it does work. And it's a curiosity thing. You got a male urinating in a scrape. Another male's interested, comes up and checks it out to smell it. So it's been done before. I know a few people, hunters, that's all they do. But you're just sweetening it up a little bit with Rubline Scents. It gives you that extra. It gives you that extra oomph powerized in your scrape. It supercharges your scrapes when you're using Rubline Scents. So, but Chris, while you were gone, I mentioned that we're going to talk about the food plots, and
Okay, cool.
I know a guy. So go ahead and
I'm sorry I bugged that. You ain't
that's
gonna
all right.
believe
I was getting nervous because food plots were coming up, and I didn't have nobody to talk
it.
about
You ain't
it.
gonna
So.
believe this. I'm sitting here, and a freaking snake just came up beside me. I'm in
Nice.
I'm in my basement. A snake just crawled in beside me.
What kind of snake was it?
It was red belly racer.
Oh, nice.
I mean, they're not big and dangerous or anything, but it freaked me out, man. Went right between my feet, went underneath the couch. I'm sitting.
I'm gonna have to go back and look at the live after that and see your face, see if you made any kind of
I'm
face.
gonna look surprised, I'm sure.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
man.
funny.
Okay.
All right, well, go ahead. If you got all your wits back at you, started out with the food plots and why you do it and why we're doing food plots and what you should use and how you do it. And if you want to get into fertilizer and soil compound and all that, you can do all that. So go ahead and do that.
How many hours do I have?
Oh, I don't know. But yeah, hit the basics. Hit the basics.
I'll keep it simple. I just really, I don't know why, but it just tickles my fancy to feed the deer, and I just love planting something. I mean, like, and I hate to sound cliche, but like domain, the company I hooked up with, it's just so neat to make your own domain. I mean,
oh, you're getting a plug for that. You must be getting paid for that one.
I wish.
Make it rain. Make it rain.
So, yeah, I mean, it is just a cool thing. I mean, and what happened was, like I said, when I moved up from the city and I built this house where I'm at, I have woods down here below the house, and every time I climbed a tree, they went around me somehow, and that was one of my big things. Was I got tired of wasting my nights hanging out in a tree. Mm-hmm. And I thought, well, I can't bait, so what am I gonna do? I gotta tip this table my direction. So
well, that real quick, Chris, while you're on that subject, so I don't forget, that's one of the parts why you do that is because your time, is valuable. And as hunters, you go out there, you want to see stuff, you want to be successful. So that's one of the reasons why you do food plots. So I'm sorry for interrupting you, but go ahead, keep going.
No, and that was the main thing that really kick-started my passion with this stuff. And if anybody knows me personally, they know how big of a passion it is for me. I mean, I'm a food plot freak.
Yeah, I was pulling you away from the food plot stands at the show up in Harrisburg. I know.
I know. Even competitor stuff. I like to go over and check out their stuff, mm-hmm. and I can tell you if it's legit or not a lot of times just by looking at it, reading up on it. But yeah, I mean that just sparked an interest in me, and like you said, time away from your family. You work all day, you're tired, you want to go out, you want to see deer, and you want them to come by you. I mean, obviously, you want to get a shot, provide for the family. So that was the main thing. Is I took a portion of my lower property down here. Hey, what's up, Theo? I took a portion of my lower property and I cleared some trees because that's a huge food plot failure. Is people don't get enough sunlight down to the ground. Okay, so I cleared some trees, and the first couple years I was kind of naive about it. I didn't understand it all. I didn't really do my homework, and I just went out and started planting this stuff, and it wasn't optimal at all. I mean, it worked. It brought the deer in. They snuck through there, took a little nibble, and moved on. That was great. It did work to a certain point, but I just kept I just kept honing this thing and honing it and just researching it. I even took some classes out of Penn State, got a couple of certificates from Penn State on how to do these things, and a lot of times these people, the soil test, you got to get the soil test. Don't skip your soil test. It's the cheapest insurance you can have. It costs between 11 and $13 for a soil test, and it costs you, $5 or $6 to send it away. So for $20 and under, you can have a soil test sent away to a lab, and it'll tell you exactly what you need in that dirt to amend it, to get you on the right path, to get your pH right, get your fertilization right. And that's very important because, and like I said, I can go for hours, but if you do not do your soil test, you're doing yourself a disservice, not only because it's not going to be optimal, but you could be wasting your money because it may not need a bunch of stuff that you're going to throw on the ground and use, or the other end of the spectrum is if you don't have your pH right, you're wasting money by putting all your fertilization and stuff. If your pH, let's just back up. If your pH is like at a 5.0, which is pretty low, because you want to be as near 7 as you can get. If your pH is down around 5, and you can figure on any fertilization that you throw in the dirt, 50% of it's going to be unusable. It's going to be wasted.
And why is that,
Chris? Because your pH gets your plants, it gets all that bound up nutrients in the ground. Okay, it makes it usable to the plant so it can be uptaked and absorbed. If you don't have that pH, it's a chemical reaction, obviously, and I can't explain that because I'm not a chemist, or I took a lot of biology classes growing up, but I can't put it into words.
What it does is it sort of makes it more digestible for the plant, is what you want to say. Like it makes it easier
It makes it usable.
Usable for the plant. Yeah.
Yeah. The plant has to be able to absorb it in through the root structure.
Gotcha.
Okay, that's the easiest in layman terms I can put it without losing everybody and putting them to sleep. But if your pH is too low, your plants can't use all the fertilizer that you're putting down. And there's other, to read a soil test, you could go watch a couple of videos I have on soil testing and things.
Yeah, and that's what you should do, guys. Definitely go over to Chris's
channel. If they go over there, but I've got to warn you, man. Be sugared up, have a Monster in you or something, because it'll probably put you to sleep. Because it's lengthy and it's probably boring. But if you really want to learn something, sit down.
Chris,
and listen to
that's the thing. Like, that's the one thing, though. Like, if you're into doing that, you have to know what you're doing, because you're just throwing your money. You might as well dig a hole and bury your money. That's just the way it is, and you have to know that. So, when people are interested in that stuff, it shouldn't bore them. You're talking about hundreds and hundreds. Like, we spend hundreds of dollars on our food plots. I did 7 food plots this weekend. And that's why I called you Saturday and said, hey, can I do this and this and that? And you're like, yeah, you can do that now, because you don't want to throw that money away. So the boring stuff, you have to know that to even get started. If you don't do that stuff, you might as well send your money off to somebody or donate it somewhere else, because it ain't going to work for you.
Well, the problem is there's some really big, what should we call them, celebrity hunters on YouTube.
Like me. Yeah,
like celebrities like Ted. But they have these big channels, thousands of subscribers, and they're paid to say things, But if you look at their plots, there's a certain fella, I won't mention his name, but I nicknamed him Spriggs. He's got thousands and thousands of subscribers, but and to talk to the guy, he sounds convincing, and he tells you how to do things, and tells you what he's done in the past, but when he has videos on his plots, there's a sprig here, a sprig there, a sprig here, and I just nicknamed him Spriggs, and I shouldn't characterize them like that, I guess, because it all depends on what part of the country you're in and how good your soil is. And well, I mean, PA is not the greatest, but I mean, we can grow some stuff here, you know. But yeah, I mean, if I don't want to pat myself on the back, but use good quality. Get your soil test. Use good quality amendments. Know how to use your soil test to amend your soil. And like I said, use good seed and things, stuff that you trust. Have someone, ask some people, hey, have you used this before? If not, and if they've had good luck with it, and like I said, I don't want to keep plugging people, but
yeah. But can you use seed with? Why should you use fertilizer when a seed has Stud 5000 wrapped around it? It's coated with Stud 5000 or Echo Boost and Super Mania fertilizer around the seed. I mean, should you use fertilizer or just you can plant that and it'll grow anywhere? I mean, there's a lot of stuff out there to catch that hunter. You know what I mean?
There's so many gimmicks on the line, and I try to keep it simple and explain it to people in a simple fashion, so because it's not rocket science, and they try to make it harder than it needs to be, and it's if you have a question and you need an answer, I can get you an answer, but don't tell me, well, this guy did it this way on YouTube. I don't. Yeah. They're getting paid to tell you this stuff, folks.
And it does depend on where you're at in the states too. Like state to state is different, and you will do your research on what what grows in what states and everything. So if anybody has any questions, get on Chris's channel and ask him that. He will research it, and he will tell you the facts, and he will tell you what he would do in that situation.
Correct.
And he's not getting paid from any seed companies to push seed on you or anything like that.
I don't have any sponsors. I have partnerships, and what that is it's a give and take. They give me a product, I use it because I believe in it, and I put videos out proving that these things work, just like Rubline Scents. That's why we're here tonight. I get a product, I make videos for them, I show trail camera pictures proving that this stuff works. Okay, and that's what I do on my channel. I won't push a product, but if you ask me, I will tell you.
Yep.
And that's the way it is. Adam's up.
Okay, so
go ahead, bud.
I'm one of the guys that has always wasted money on food plots. Like I always have, until I met you, Chris. And Chris came over to the house and he showed me, like it's pretty much pointless to plant here because there's no sunlight. You have a clay foundation here, you got to get a soil test and figure out what you have to do. So instead of me going and throwing $35 down the drain now, I know what to do now. Like, I used to go to Walmart or, whatever store, Dunham's, and I'd buy 3 bags of throw and go and go plant it, and guess what happened? Nothing ever happened. I don't care who all says that they go and buy that throw and grow. It's not going to work.
See, throw and grow is a horrible product. I mean,
correct.
It comes up green if you have sunlight, moisture, all that. But it's ryegrass. Deer will eat ryegrass out of your
early.
But it's not a preferred food.
Hey guys, Wyatt has a question in the chat.
Flip
you guys
the bag around. Flip the bag around and make sure that your major product in that is not ryegrass. It should be rye grain. Because preferred plant in your plots, we plant corn because soybean are destroyed before archery. Well,
I have an answer for that too after Chris answers it. Go ahead, you can do it first.
Okay. Corn and beans and things are great, okay? But it's an early season product unless, if you're planting it and you're going to leave it stand, that's a great deal. But if you're hunting around a farm field, that's going to be harvested and it's going to be gone. Yeah, there'll be some remnants here and there, but I wouldn't rely on things like that. Just like people that say, I want to plant an apple tree. Apple trees are great, and they do draw a deer in, but those apples usually fall before the season or during the first week of the season, and then they're gone. The deer don't come back to that area, and it's just a bad plan. Now, me, I always, if you listen to my videos, and I say it a lot, I like to plant 365. And what I mean by that is I want something green and growing all year long. You want, your clovers, and you want to establish them in the fall, and you want to establish like a winter wheat or a winter rye or something like that in the fall with your fall plots, your brassicas and your rutabagas and your kale. Like, we can go on and on, whatever you like to plant in your area. Now, you get that started and established in the fall with your fall plot, and then in the spring, the first thing to green up in the spring is going to be your clovers and your grains, your winter wheat and your winter rye. So if you like to turkey hunt, if you have a plot that you did that last fall, now you fast forward to spring, now you've got something green and growing when everything else is brown in the woods. Now those turkeys are coming in and are going to be bugging and eating in your green plot. And I like to plant something, keep it green all year round.
Does Domain, Chris, have a seed mixture that does that?
Yep.
Domain has different seed blends that have winter wheat in it with clover and chicory. So that's blended in with their brassica. Now, depending on which celebrity you want to listen to, some of them say you shouldn't mix brassica with grains, blah, blah, blah. I do it every year.
I do it myself. I put winter wheat in. I was doing rye, but then I heard, and I got that off you, Chris, was the winter wheat was a little bit better. It's more palatable for the deer and everything. So I started mixing the winter wheat in with the big sexy is what I call it.
Yes.
The Domain is the big sexy.
Dave and I, when we were managing for 3 years, we managed that property that we had, that lease, and we planted a plot of straight winter rye and a plot of straight winter wheat. And those deer would walk through the winter rye to get to the winter wheat. You know why? Because it's not bitter like the winter rye. Now, I'm not saying winter rye is horrible. I'm saying it's not preferred compared to winter wheat. If you actually pick a couple blades of that winter rye and winter wheat in your fingers and you put it in your mouth and chew it up, winter wheat, you can tell winter wheat is sweeter. Winter rye will be bitter to the taste. And believe it or not, a lot of these food plot items in your food plot, they're actual food you can eat. You can make a salad out of them. These turnips and radishes and brassicas and things, and kale, rutabaga, and the clover, all that. You can eat all this stuff if you needed to. That's why the deer like it.
There's a question
so
for you,
palatable
Chris.
and sweet for them. I planted 16 persimmon trees this year. What do you think about those? I don't personally have any here. I wish I did, because persimmons seem, from what I'm told, they hang on a little longer.
We couldn't grow them where we were at. We tried to plant persimmons. They wouldn't grow down at our place.
They are a preferred thing. They are preferred. So brown racing, that's not a bad deal. I mean, you're on the right track with those. Like I said, I've heard that I don't have any experience with it, but I'm just telling you what I know from other people that have them. Now, I know a guy that down there in Indiana, PA, he goes by the name of PA Plotters or something like that. I think his name is. And Mike has persimmons down there. He tells me they're just they're fire down there for him. They just prefer them so much. He loves having them.
Cool.
Now, so I think he's on the right track.
Now, to piggyback off of your go ahead, Adam. Go ahead.
Okay, I have no idea what this tree is. So can somebody explain it a touch? I just wrote it down.
Go ahead, Chris.
Persimmon. Someone can correct me if I'm messing this up. But it's kind of, I don't know. It's kind of like almost like a plum type of fruit. Okay. It's some kind of fruit
tree. Okay.
Yeah, it's a fruit tree that hangs on a little longer. I like to call them like a plum looking thing, and I guess they're pretty sweet and juicy, and the deer really do like them from what I'm told. And like I don't have any experience with them, so I can't tell you 100%. But I just repeat what I've been told from a buddy of mine. And if you ask any of the big shots, they like down south and things, persimmon's a big deal. It is a big deal. It's a preferred fruit.
Yeah, I'm trying to do this real quick here. Hold on.
I actually am in talks with a company that has hybrid trees and stuff like that they actually
That's how much a tree costs.
Forms in 2 to 4 years.
That's a producing tree.
Wow.
Yeah. That's a tree that's going to have fruit on it this year.
Yep.
Yeah. So that's it right there.
Yep.
Go ahead, Rick.
Cool.
Sorry to interrupt you. I was just
No, that's
showing
fine,
that.
bud.
Thank you.
Yep.
But yeah, I'm in talks with a company that actually produces these different hybrid trees, and one actually grows. Does not get very high, but it actually has acorns between 2 to 4 years.
Yeah. That's tough with the acorns, because down at my place, it's every 2, 3, 5 years. But I want to go on with that. But go ahead, Rick, keep going, and then I'm going to come back because I want to piggyback off something Chris said.
They have chestnut trees, they have persimmons trees, they have apple trees, they have pear trees, oak trees, tree shrubs. There's all kinds of different types of those trees in hybrids, and I think the longest one you have to wait is 7 years. So hopefully I can get with those guys and find out a lot more information and actually make a deal with them so I can plant it, and then we can actually show you guys the growth and everything and the proof in the pudding when it happens.
Yeah. Now my dad did amazing with our pear and apple trees down in his plots, and you guys have seen them from last year and the year before. They're loaded with pears this year, but the only thing is they're dwarfed this year because we didn't get down there to fertilize them early when they should have been fertilized. If you fertilize now the trees, they can hurt them real bad. So we don't fertilize them now. I want to, believe me. It looks, you're like, oh man, I want to put fertilizer, but there's a time and place for that too. And if you fertilize now, certain trees, that'll just stunt them and they won't grow. So we're just letting them go to where they are right now, but they're loaded, thousands of pears and apples on the tree. I'm anxious to see what we get down there this year. But to piggyback real quick off of what Chris was saying about the preferred food source, now down at my place, there's a bunch of soybean and cornfields all around, okay? We wanted to plant, okay, our first thought was corn, soybean, why not do that? Well, the reason why, and this is from me researching it and stuff and talking to the people, you know, in their club and stuff that goes down there, is we want a preferred source. So we want the high protein. We want the deer to come out of those cornfields and soybean fields and come onto our property. We have a small tract of land down there, so we put all of our food plots sort of centerized in the middle of our property to get sort of the wagon wheel effect, like the trails coming to our property so we can hunt the trails and everything, because, you know, shooting deer out of a food plot is a thing. It's not really preferred to shoot a deer out of a food plot because then they get nervous coming into the food plot, or that'll make them nocturnal. Just from experience and from just listening to people, if you're shooting deer out of a food plot, they know that's a dangerous area. They're not going to frequent it during shooting light. They're going to come in at night, or, you know, they'll be out of there when you get there, whatever. Always check your wind too with food plots. Always enter and exit the right ways, because once a deer gets on you with that, you know, and a big buck especially will be out of there and you'll never see the deer again. But we decided to plant high protein, high sought after products, which is the dwarf Essex rape really grows good down in our area. So we plant rape, we plant daikon radishes, purple top turnips. I add some winter wheat. I do have bags of rye, and the bags of rye are for, and I know that it's not the preferred food source, but it does something to the soil when you till it in the following year. It creates the nutrients and stuff, and sort of like a compost for it. So when we extend our food plots, that year that we do that, when we till our extend them, we plant just rye in those extended plots. But the food plots that we planted what we call cold season, which we call fall planting, we do the brassicas, the dwarf Essex rape, the radishes, the turnips, and then I'll sprinkle in whenever there's like spots that aren't taking real well, and I'll sprinkle in the winter wheat. I was doing rye, and then Chris suggested to do the winter wheat in with that. And then I've talked to a couple other people, and they had the same suggestions. And these are people that have pretty big YouTube channel, like Josh from Whitetail Driven Solutions, who was down at our place. He agreed with Chris on all aspects of what Chris said, and he does this for a living. You know what I mean? This guy Josh, that's his business, and he said that Chris was correct on all aspects of what Chris told me. And so we plant the winter wheat in there where stuff isn't growing. Okay, so that myth of your brassicas and your broadleaf plants mixed in with like a winter or a rye, it doesn't hurt my food plot at all. It don't really hurt it. It just fills in all the voids in my food plot. Now we have another section with the clover, and I'm turning more and more over towards clover because Chris is the clover. He pushes that clover, and we have one big main food plot on our property. It's the middle field. It's about 2.5 acres long. That's our big food plot, and then we have some shot plots off to the sides of that in some areas. So we divert the deer to the middle of our property, and the main food plot is our in the middle of our property, and we put all brassicas, turnips, rape, and all that in there. But this year we sort of did half and half. We put clover in there, and correct me if I'm wrong, Chris, but clover, you really, will that establish itself now into spring, or is that more of a spring planting to get the clover established for next year?
No, I recommend putting it in the fall plot now.
Of clover?
Yes, because you won't see a whole lot this year.
Yeah.
Because it's going to go dormant. But in the spring, the second year is always your best for your clover. It'll really take off.
Yeah, and we did half of it in clover because cost of seed and cost of tilling and cost of fertilizing and cost of liming, we're going to establish that half of that field is going to be clover, which you like to do with there's something growing green all season. Yes. Now I want to tell everybody this too. We were very skeptical of doing this because some of the guys disagreed with, there's enough food out there for the deer, we don't have to plant. Okay, nobody wanted to spend the money and all that. Well, we introduced the food plots, and now we're seeing bigger deer, more deer, and they're shooting deer down there now. So it works. And on my property down there, people are seeing the results. Every year it's getting better and better. We've been doing it for about 5 years steady now, and it's been getting better and better every year. So food plots do work if you do it right. But we're trying to establish the clover this year and half of that big food plot, so we don't have to put the money into all cool season. We want to establish that clover. We got crimson, Landino, and then we mixed a little bit of winter wheat in with that this year just to get that established a little bit. And then in the springtime, hopefully it grows. We'll have to reseed it, like you said, Chris, reseed it in the spring and then keep it cut. Yeah, frost seed it in the spring and then keep it mowed and keep it manicured throughout the summer. So the weeds don't overtake it. But if you cut it high, then that clover will overtake the weeds in a while. Then you'll get a good stand of clover. And then we only have to spend the money on the cooled stuff, which costs the most money, on half of that. And then our shot plots we plant the best stuff that we can plant in our shot plots for the season. Now, and that's how we manage our land down there with the food plots.
I don't want people to think I'm against winter wheat or winter rye. I'm sorry, winter rye. But as far as tasting and palatability, yes, it's good. Yeah.
And it does do that for
the winter wheat's better. But I will say this, sticking up for winter rye. One of the things that winter rye does, and you touched on this, when you have winter rye in your plot, it has a certain, the word is a big word, called allelopathic. It's allelopathic towards weeds.
I know a couple people like that.
So what it does is it suppresses a little bit of the weeds from coming in and on. Okay, so it has a little bit of allelopathy, So, I mean, it's not going to control your weeds, but it keeps a little bit of the weeds from spreading.
Yeah.
So that's why I think that they like to include it in these mixes.
Yeah, and it works great for us with the, the first season of a food plot, which it isn't really a great product, but it's, I don't want to say protein, but it's a good starter seed, so we can see what it does, and then we till that in.
It definitely is, because it will grow in low pH.
Yeah.
It will grow in the bed of your pickup truck if you spill it and it gets wet.
And that's rye grain, not rye grass. Remember that,
Correct.
folks, too, because you can go out and buy rye grass and you'll ruin your food plot in one season.
Yeah, but yeah, it is almost dummy proof, and you know, for guys that aren't real sure what to do the first year, if they want to get something out there that will help build the soil, keep the soil from eroding, that type of thing, you know, you can go to your local feed store and get a bag of winter rye or winter wheat for under $20.
Yeah, it's cheap for like a 50-pound bag.
Yeah, and you should be planting at least 100 pound per acre. You know, get that on. Stand alone.
Yeah.
If it's in a mix, you cut it down a little bit. But yeah, there is certain advantages to it. You know, and I didn't want people to think I was against winter rye too.
No, there's just a time and place for it all.
Yeah, there's a time and place for a lot of stuff, and I guess, you know, I need to explain, you know, I had to explain that because, you know, I don't want to, like I said, I don't like to lead people down the wrong path here.
Yep.
I try to give them the answer that they need for the situation they're in.
Yeah, chicory's another one, you know, for turkey, for deer, stuff like that. But that's a little tougher to grow, correct, Chris?
For me, in my area, it depends on where I'm at. I don't know why. Like here, I have a feed plot behind deer camp, and the chicory does not want to grow here. Either that, or they're just picking it all out before they let it grow.
Yeah, I got
Now you go across the road to my destination plots. I got 2 acres of clover over there, and there's chicory everywhere.
Okay, now you said destination plots, so that's another thing. What are the names of the food plots, and why are you calling it a destination plot?
Okay, I have quite a few different plots, and down below my house, the one I talked about earlier, where I shot the 10-point last year, like you call it a shot plot, I call it a kill plot, you know, whatever. That is just a small little area. Micro plot is another word. It's a micro plot that you just want them to come on by, slow them down. They'll put their head down, nibble a little bit, gives you a chance to look them over, maybe get a shot. You know, and that's like a funneled area, somewhere that you drew them in tight for a close shot. Okay, that's what I call a kill plot. Now, the other thing is, I say I have a feed plot behind camp. Well, right behind camp, obviously there's safety zones, and there's other camps and houses and stuff around deer camp, so I can't really hunt that. But I like to have stuff here feed wise for them, because anymore with CWD and this stuff, you're not allowed to bait anymore, you know, and all that stuff. You know, we used to put bait out, and instead of using mock scrapes, we used to put, you know, some corn out or something, put a camera on it to take inventory. Well, you can't do that in these areas anymore with CWD. So now I just go out and plant a plot full of clover and chicory, and I put a camera on it, and I can see what's in the area. And the deer's range is quite wide, so I have all this stuff planted within a mile radius here of the house, so I can get to easily after work or something. Now, what I call a destination plot is over across the road from me. All right, there's an 20-acre field over there, but I just plant 2 acres along the field edge. Obviously, then that way I can put stands along that edge of the field, and wherever they may be entering and exiting the fields, that's where I'll put a stand. And why it's called destination is because there is no more ag around me. No one farms anymore, and I happen to have access to this 20-acre field, so I plant this all along the field edge and put my stands there. And there's a big tract of land across the road from me, and there's a swamp down there on the next tract over from me, and it's a destination plot because these deer that don't have access to clover and brassicas and all that good feed, they will come up out of there and come in there and eat.
So that's somewhere they want to end up. Somewhere they want to feed. They're
that's
looking
somewhere
for
they
that.
want to feed, because deer deer don't, if they don't have access to good water supply, deer get a lot of their moisture from eating green plants.
Okay.
So after they're in the woods eating browse, leaves, acorns, nuts, whatever they find that they eat in the woods,
Mm-hmm.
they got to come out to the green field and eat enough green material that gives them enough moisture to digest. They have a rumen
Gotcha.
like a cow. They have 4 segments in their stomach. They got to be able to digest all this stuff. So
Mm-hmm.
that green moistured plants and things, that helps them digest all that woody stuff that they just ate.
Yeah, and that woody browse is definitely a big part of their diet. No
That is
matter
a
what,
staple.
they eat it all the time, no
That's a
matter if it's
staple
there or not.
365.
Yeah, so people think that they got to survive off of wood all winter. That's a staple in their diet. They need
Well,
that to survive.
they obviously, deer have been living for hundreds of years, on browse. They don't need our food plots, folks. I mean, food plots is just a tool in your box.
Mm-hmm.
And we yeah, they help deer here and there, but I mean, it's the browse is the staple. That's the
Mhm.
way God made it. They're
Yep.
there to live off the land,
Yep.
and that's the way they do it. Is they eat that woody browse and the green leaves. Like summer is great. Everything's green. They can eat just about anything.
Yeah.
Deer don't even get poisoned. They can eat poison ivy. I don't even know how they eat. They eat briar bushes.
They eat
That's one of-
sumac. They love
Yeah, I mean,
sumac.
the briars is one of their favorite things. How do they not?
Yeah.
I go walking through a briar patch and I'm getting torn up, scratched, and I'm bleeding. How do they eat
Yep.
that stuff?
Yeah. And Hunting and Stuff has a question right there. We're going to be trying to do this right now before the season, but the season's kicking off soon. We're going to try to do once a month, but then as the season gets closer and closer, we're going to try to do them probably once every 2 weeks. These chats. I really like the chats. I mean, I could sit down and talk hunting for hours and hours. So, basically we want to get that vibe in here where you can just come here, hang out, and relax a little bit and talk hunting. And that's what we're trying to do here for Rubline Scents.
For sure.
Yeah. So, Rick, you want to add anything to the mix here?
Oh, I was looking at some of the questions and stuff. Wyatt, you can always contact any of us on Facebook and Messenger or whatever, and we can help you out this year. Because I don't know where you're from or where your season starts, but we can help you out there. Like Ted said, we started this out. We want to do this at a minimum once a month, but we're hoping that mid-September.
Yeah, but we're looking for feedback too, Rick. Let them know, we're in the chat suggested if you want us to do it more often. I mean,
Yep.
I don't know just if time allows. We can't do one every week. I don't think so. But we could try to get one in every 2 weeks
Subject.
at least.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can in the chat here you can do subjects because we can always go back and look. You can email us, go to our YouTube channel and suggest, hey, I'd like for you to talk about bows, or I'd like for you to talk about crossbows or gun hunting, or broadheads or arrows. I mean, there's all kinds of stuff that we can bring up and we can talk about. We could have segments on that, and we will be bringing up more pro staff members throughout the season here. And I call this it's going to be a series, pro staff series with Rubline Scents. So there's going to be different subjects that we're going to talk about, and we're also going to have some special guests up. If you want to be a guest on here, you could email us and say, hey, I'd like to be a guest. I'd like to talk about a farm tractor that you're using to put food plots in, or something related to hunting that we could talk about and have a topic on. We'd be happy to do that. And we're promoting Rubline Scents in this, but it's also a sit down and just a good old fashioned talk about hunting. You know what I mean? And what everything, all the aspects of hunting.
All of them. I mean, from mock scrapes to the level of your tree stands to the products we use to the bows and arrows and broadheads we use. We're all different. We all use different stuff. We have plenty of opportunities for us also to try out stuff. So
Yeah.
Adam's big time in that. Ted is as well. Chris and I, smaller channels, but we're working on things. I've got a lot of getting a lot of more contacts and stuff out there. So
What
there'll
I'd
be a
like
lot
to
more
do,
stuff going on.
yeah.
Just like I was showing Nighthawk there and stuff.
Go ahead, Adam. What's up?
Okay, so the reason I was in charge of the kids all night is because some of the FBA Wives Club went to a gun bingo.
Nice.
So look at
Nice.
these.
Hey, Renee.
Nice.
Yeah.
She won 22
I won
shells.
22 shells.
Hey, you won something. That's awesome.
Nice.
That's
a lot
awesome.
of bingo and nothing.
This is nice.
This is nice.
I see a lot of bingo and a lot of drinking, maybe, Adam, involved in that.
Okay, girls. Thank you.
Good to see you guys.
Good to see you, Renee. Nice seeing you. But yeah, and I think also, and this is something I wanted to do on my channel, but I think this is a great platform to do it on, is like have almost like an epic fails. Like if you're using a product out there, guys, and it just doesn't work or it breaks on you or something, that's always good information to get out there and show people like, hey, this is what happened. This, you shot your bow and your broadhead blew apart, or you shot a deer and your arrow snapped in half or something like that, or your sight fell off your bow, something like that, like an epic fails thing is definitely something cool. Hey, Backwoods Barbarian, thanks for coming in. But I'd like to do something like that. Now Adam, he does some crazy stuff on his channel. He always is testing products and doing some crazy stuff. I love watching that stuff. So we can, there's just an unlimited array of content that we could bring you guys, but we would like the feedback. Like I said, this is a new series for Rubline Scents and all of us, so we're looking for feedback from everybody. Yeah, and that's a good one right there, like how to introduce kids to hunting, like how I introduce my kids, Adam, how he does that, all of our, how we can do that. That's a great topic on one of our podcasts in the future for sure. So, we're going to be taking all this feedback in. So definitely contact us. Let us know what you want. And we will do our best in trying to make something up and make a stream up for you guys based on what you tell us. And we will research, research the information. Between us, we can get a lot of information together. We talk behind, we'll talk out of the stream and, let research things and topics like that for you guys. So and like I said, it's all about hunting and the camaraderie of people getting together and talking about hunting. And we want to make this feel like, you're sitting at the fire in your cabin, you're like talking hunting, like you're going hunting with your hunting party and you're talking like deer stories, hunting stories. I'd like to have a series or a podcast on, give us your best deer story, your worst deer story, what happened, or even your last year's hunt. We want to share our hunts, and we want you to share your hunts with us also.
Thanks, Brown Racing.
All right, Brown, thank you for coming in, buddy. Appreciate you.
I'll see you, Brown, at Aiden's Army in the afternoon, probably.
That's cool.
I'll be there.
Yeah, Big Time will be there.
All right, so does anybody have any questions or anything they want to add? We've been going for about 2 hours now, so I think we're going to wrap it up.
Yep.
Any last thoughts or comments, Adam?
Just a huge shout out to Backwoods Barbarian. If you guys don't have his channel, go check it out. He's an amazing guy. Does a lot of great stuff. He donated so much to the auction the other night. It was amazing.
Yeah, he's a good dude.
He's a great guy.
I'm going to share his link in here right now, guys. If there's any mods that want to share any links, they can. I'm going to put Backwoods Barbarian's link in this chat right now so you guys can go over and check him out.
And
But yeah,
Backwoods, just let you know, Backwoods, if I get a chance, I told you that we have a group of guys trying to put a moose hunt together up there in September of 2025. And I'm going to try to go up and film. It's like an extra $1,200, but I don't have the 10 grand right now. So I, would like to come up and meet you if we can get something like that together. That'd be a fun time.
And let me answer Wyatt's question right here. Hey, Rattletrap, thanks for coming in, buddy. Appreciate you. Wyatt, we could have you up here on the panel, but I would need an email and a confirmation from your parents. You being 12 years old, I would need information from your parents specifically saying that you're allowed to come up on the panel with us and talk about the deer food plots. But I would have to talk to them, so they could email me or email one of us in the chat and the stream here, and we would have to actually physically talk to your parents to get the okay for it. And then we would have to have an email with a confirmation from your parents saying that you're allowed to come up, so we have it. And I hope you understand that. It's just, kids on live streams and things like that. I've seen some live streams in the past get pretty bad with that, so I want to just be careful and make sure we get parents' permission and condolence, get the okay from the parents. So that would be the only way that we could have you up on the live stream, and we'd love to do it because, like I said, we want to introduce kids to the hunting, and we want to get kids involved. So I have no problem with having a minor up on panel as long as your parents are okay with that.
Good answer.
Yep. All right. Chris, you have anything? Anything
No, I'm
else?
good, man. I'm good.
Right.
This was all good. I hope people are enjoying it and it takes off and we can do it more often.
Yep, definitely. Adam, any last words?
If you're from Pennsylvania, we'll kick off our archery contest. We got a lot of great sponsors and prizes this year, so just stay tuned. If you have Facebook, our page is Freezerbound Outdoors, and we'll be posting everything on YouTube as well. So it's a free contest to get in, and it's basically about the kids, and we have adult teams. So
awesome. Thank you, Adam. Rick, you have any final thoughts or words on the stream here?
Yeah, I just wanted to tell you guys I appreciate you collaborating with me and Rubline Scents. I think this is going to be outstanding. I am hoping that more people get involved. They take and put out Rubline's information, contact me, and we can get our products out to you guys. It doesn't matter where. I even actually and honestly am trying to deal with a Canadian company to get it up there, and I have proof that it's been worked up there. The bad thing about that is the tariff. The tariff tax is terrible, I guess, and that's a big thing for them. But I truly appreciate you guys. These guys will show you and tell you, and I hope we prove everything to you guys through this podcast and all the hunts that we hope to get together and do. And hopefully you guys get to see some of them and they're successful. We all have information on our channels and proof already, so if you guys want to check it out, and you guys know how to get a hold of me, so go ahead and do that. And I hope that, like I said, this takes off and we do something special here.
Cool. Thank you, Rick.
All you guys.
Thank you. All right, guys. Well, that's it for the Rubline's video podcast, Pro Staff Talk here. Join us next time. Keep an eye out for the posts when we're going to be doing it again. Make sure you go over www.rublinescents.com. Go over, check out all the great products they have there. And I guess we will see ya.
bye, guys.
Bye, guys. Thanks, man. It was special.